Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to welcome all of you and invite the Murov family up to welcome the Shabbat by blessing the Sabbath lights and the grape juice or wine. The candle blessing is on page 65. Please rise.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav b'tzivanu, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You hallow us with your mitzvot. Command us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Let there be joy.
Let there be light.
Let there be peace.
Let there be Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. You may be seated after you say Shabbat Shalom to somebody you came with and to somebody that you did not come with.
What page?
We're on 65.
No.
Sorry, I forgot we still need to stay standing for the Kiddush, which is on page 165.
165.
165, she said. Alexander, I want you to hold this up. Top of page, 165. No, bottom of the page. Ready? Right here. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav ratzavanu b'shabbat kadsho v'ahava uvratzon hinhulanu zikaron l'maaseh b'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikraye kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu b'charta Biotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabat.
He has to drink that?
Why does everybody say that always?
L'chaim, Shabbat Shalom again.
Welch's.
No, I'm fine. It is?
It's grape juice.
Okay. Just... no, I don't want it.
Margarita, you want some? All right. It's better than Coke? All right, let's go sit.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. In a moment, we'll begin on page 66 with Lachad Odi, but I wanted to share sort of some neat news about our community. Some of you might have heard about a huge butterfly mural that went up in our city last month. I had a flyer that went home with religious school families about it. A foundation partnered with local individuals to put the butterfly up, and a member of our congregation, who's an artist, helped with the design. And the foundation asked that people pose in front of the butterfly and send a picture via text message, and the foundation will make a donation in that person's honor to any charity that they choose. And there's over 200 of these around the world, and ours has been up for a month, and in that first month has been the most successful in raising funds. Over $11,000 has been raised, mostly to local nonprofits. So that's really exciting, and it's still there and still able to pass on this wonderful gift. So I encourage you to go to it. It's at 300 North Allen Street if you haven't yet, and I can get you this information afterwards if you'd like to share that number, share your picture and get a donation. And now, Lecha Dodi, we welcome the Sabbath. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness and of the impulse within us for justice and mercy, we pray that this hour of worship may be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter this sanctuary in search and in need, all who bring to this place the offering of their hearts. May our worship here lead us to fulfill our words and intentions with acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. On page 68, in the middle of the page, how good it is and how pleasant when we dwell together in unity. Hine matovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Many are the generations of Israel, and in every age we have sought the living God through Sabbath rest and worship. This time and place hold the power to increase our joy in the eternal. O God, even as we seek you in the sanctuary, help us to know that your glory fills all space. Make us understand that you are with us at all times if we but open our minds to you.
We feel the presence of your Spirit in our homes and on our ways. We see the beauty of your creation in mountain, sea, and sky, and in the human form. We hear you in the silence of our own hearts, speaking the truths the heart knows.
May we be your witness to the world, your messenger to all the earth.
May we show forth your image within us, the divine spark that makes us human.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uv'izman kariv v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach, Le'olam Le'ol Me'el Mayam, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishabach, V'yitpar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yithaleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekudusha, Brichu, Le'ela, Min Chol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbachata V'nechemata, Damiran bi'alma v'yimeru. Amen. Baruch et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam va'ed. As day departs, as the dark of night descends, we lift our eyes to the heavens. In awe and wonder, our hearts cry out.
Eternal God, how majestic is your name in all the earth.
A vast universe, who can know it? What mind can fathom it? We look out to the endless suns and ask, what are we? What are our dreams and our hopes? What are we that you are mindful of us? What are we that you should care for us?
And yet, within us abides a measure of your Spirit. You are remote, but oh, how near. Ordering the stars in the vast solitudes of the dark, yet whispering in our minds that you are closer than the air we breathe. For you have made us little less than divine, and crowned us with glory and honor. With love and awe we turn to you, and in the dark of evening we seek the light of your presence.
One and only God, you have made each of us unique and formed us to be united in one family of life. Be with us, Eternal One, as we seek to unite our lives with your power and your love.
We proclaim now your oneness and our own hope for unity. We acclaim your creative power in the universe and in ourselves, the law that binds world to world and heart to heart.
Shema
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated, unless you're in the Bet class and would like to help lead Vahafta on page 72. Together in English.
You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day on your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way. When you lie down and when you rise up, bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God.
Thank you, guys. On page 73. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness, a world waiting still to be redeemed, give us, O source of good, the courage to say there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and your love.
From Egypt, the house of bondage, we were delivered. At Sinai, amid peals of thunder, we bound ourselves to your purpose. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, we survived oppression and exile, time and again overcoming the forces that would have destroyed us.
Our failings are many, our faults are great, yet it has been our glory to bear witness to our God and to keep alive in dark ages the vision of a world redeemed.
May this vision never fade. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we sing with one accord, as Moses, Miriam, and Israel sang at the shores of the sea.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha le'tar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot Osef Eleh, nora tehilot Osef Eleh. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
The Naumar. And it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. I'm at the bottom of page 74. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal God, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up to find our hearts waiting to do your will.
We praise you, guardian of Israel, whose love gives light to all the world.
O God of Israel, may our worship on this day help us to grow in loyalty to our covenant with you and to the way of life it demands, the way of gentleness and justice, the path of truth and peace. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael ot hi le'olam, ot hi le'olam, ot hi le'olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Please rise for the tefillah on page 76. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomil Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'imaot, Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Laman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Your might, O God, is everlasting.
Help us to use our strength for good.
You are the source of life and blessing.
Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the falling.
Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom.
Help us to free the captive.
You are a hope in death as in life.
Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting.
Help us to use our strength for good.
You are Kadosh, holy. Your name is Kadosh, holy. And those who strive to be Kadoshim, holy, declare your glory day by day. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. Please be seated. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shavi Shabbat. Kulam yisba'u v'yitangu metu v'cha Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat. V'korei oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratzita bo, Ratzita bova kidashto Shabbat. Chemdat yamim oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Zecher Lamase, Lamase v'reshit Shabbat. Zecher Lamase, Lamase v'reshit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Together at the top of page 79. God of Israel, may our worship on this Sabbath bring us near to all that is high and holy.
May it bind the generations in bonds of love and sharing, and unite us with our people in common hope and faith.
And through Sabbath rest and worship, may we learn to find fulfillment and joy in the vision of peace for all the world. You are with us in our prayer, in our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, and pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service.
Eternal source of good, we give thanks for the numberless gifts and blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of the senses, and for the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Teach us, God of wonders, to work for a just and compassionate society, where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Lecha Levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
We take a moment to pray silently, either at the bottom of page 80 or with our own thoughts. Ose shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. At this time in our service, we turn to the inside back cover of the prayer book as our hearts and prayers turn to those who are ill or are recuperating. O God, in our hearts, we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim, the source of healing and health. And on behalf of our military, Misha Berach Avotenu Ve'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they have been called to serve. Give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely, and let us say amen. I now invite our ISJL Fellow from the Institute of Southern Jewish Life, Kesler Friedman, to share some thoughts.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you guys for having me back. When I was talking about the difficulty of asking for help with my coworkers, we realized that there were two steps that were particularly difficult in this process. First step, acceptance. Second step, release of pride. And then that would lead to the third step, which is asking for help. So let's take a deep breath. Before you do, let's think about a time that you were struggling and you didn't want to admit it. Whether it be big or small, recently or a long time ago, let's revisit that hard time in our life together. So let's breathe Inhale acceptance. Exhale pride. So there was a time that I really had to inhale acceptance and exhale pride. It was a few summers ago that I rode my bike from Austin, Texas to Anchorage, Alaska to raise money for cancer research, the longest annual charity bike ride in the world. It was the coolest thing I'd ever done, by the way. There were about 70 total cyclists there with me that summer. We endured the heat of the Southwest desert, the climbs of the Sierra Mountains, the cold Canadian nights. We camped, we slept on the floors of YMCAs and the basements of churches. It was an adventure I will never forget. It was day 65, the day that we were supposed to cross into Alaska. I was SAG for the day, which means support. We had 3 vans and trailers attached to them that would set up rest stops every 20 miles to support our fellow riders. We'd switch off who would be the support throughout the summer, and day 65 was my day. The riders had to cycle 120 miles that day to our campsite in Tok, Alaska. It was a long and emotional day. We celebrated the life of a teammate who had passed away. We participated in a secretive tradition at the border that were set in place long, long before our time. And we were that much closer to our well-deserved finish. I was supposed to be the first rest stop once we got into Alaska. It was just myself, a 15-passenger van, pulling a trailer. On my way to set up the rest stop, I accidentally got the van and the trailer stuck in the sand. I got out of the car and the van and the trailer looked like a V. Inhale acceptance, exhale pride. I wanted to get it out of this unnatural V formation before 70 riders could see what I did. So I get on my hands and knees and I start to shovel. And tears start to come. And I keep shoveling and the tears keep coming because I knew I could not do it alone. And of course, I see a group of cyclists turn the corner and I start shoveling faster and faster, inhale, exhale. And before I knew it, 70 people unclipped their shoes, got off their bikes, and started to help me. My team and I formed a massive assembly line, unloaded everything from the trailer and the van. No one asked me what I was thinking when I made this humiliating and time-consuming mistake. No one got upset. We saw the problem that I did create, but we solved it together. We pushed the trailer and the van out of the sand, loaded everything back in, and they got back on their bikes to finish the 120 miles of the day. It was a stressful and self-hating situation that led to a moment we still talk about as one of the reasons why we are such a great team. In this week's Parsha, Yitro, the Israelites, having just escaped from Egypt, bicker furiously with one another. Moses serves as their legislator, de facto president, and Supreme Court justice, handling any and all disputes the Israelites have. When Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, sees the big responsibility that Moses is shouldering, he quickly tells Moses that this needs to change. The thing you're doing is not right, he tells him. You will surely wear yourself out, and these people as well. For the task is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone. Moses needed a break, but didn't know it. He couldn't shovel away the sand all by himself. Moses was overwhelmed with his responsibilities. Someone else, his father-in-law Jethro, or in my case, a gaggle of cyclists, recognized that we needed help. How many of us here have tried to do it all? How many of us have tried to cook dinner, do the laundry, finish the book we've been trying to read for 2 years, work to get a promotion, pay the bills when money is tight, and take care of a sick parent? In my case, study for the MCAT, have a full-time job, travel on the weekends, meditate, exercise, have friends, read, write, and finally learn to play the guitar. Did we have a Jethro to tell us that we were taking on too much? The story of Jethro is often used to highlight the importance of delegation, but Jethro's relationship and actions are much more critical than that. We don't always have the self-awareness to know when to ask for help. We don't always have the ability to see an entire situation and evaluate it objectively. Sometimes we are Moseses, so overwhelmed with all the stress in our lives that we think we can single-handedly do the work of many. We don't always know that we need a Jethro to help us, to tell us we don't have to do it alone. Jethro taught Moses to inhale acceptance and exhale pride. He helped free Moses from his own handcuffs, the one that bound him to the inability to seek guidance. Our Jethros are not always our father-in-laws. Sometimes they're our friends, our therapists, our parents. Sometimes Jethros are your teammates you've been cycling with all summer long. Sometimes we have to be the Jethros to other people. On this Shabbat, may we feel freed from our own handcuffs that keep us from seeing our Jethros. Inhale acceptance, exhale pride. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. We all need help. And the older we get, we all realize just how much help we need. I try to teach my children that one's better than the other at realizing it. Somewhere are my notes. Again, welcome to all, and special welcome to Kesler. Thank you for the sermon and for leading Torah study tomorrow and the service as well. Thank you to all the Miravs for leading the blessings, and thank you, Barbara, of course, for leading services tonight. There will be religious school, but no Hebrew classes this Sunday. Rabbi Jana will lead the Ethical Dilemmas from a Jewish Perspective discussion group this coming Wednesday, January 30th at the Tower at the Oaks. It will be from 2 to 3 o'clock. It is not too late to join Rabbi Jana's adult biblical Hebrew class. They will meet 6 p.m. this Thursday, January 31st. Textbooks have arrived. They are ready to begin vocabulary and grammar. World Religion Day is this Sunday from 1 to 5 at Highland Center. There's a flyer in the foyer for those interested in hearing more about it. Next Friday, we will celebrate Ruthie Neerman's 95th birthday, Shabbat evening services, 6 p.m. And a special Oneg Shabbat following the service will be hosted by her children, by Helene and Bill, and Jackie and Ron Neerman. Donations were made to B'nai Zion for pulpit flowers in loving memory of Vera Miller by Mr. and Mrs. Herb Miller and family, in loving memory of Marvin Muslow by Mary Muslow and family, and in loving memory of Morris J. Weiss by Mandy Selber Jr. Thank y'all.
Please rise and turn to page 148 for Aleinu.
Ushmo
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. At the bottom of page 153. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Dr. Richard Langford, Sarah David, Flo Selber, Gloria Meyer, Richard Stewart, Clifford Bayer, Joe Bath II, Peter Haas. Also, so far this year, we have lost 2 members of the military in the line of duty, 9 police officers. And as we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. Yard sites this week include Larry Abrams, William Fellman, Ruth Goldshaw, Mrs. Sidney Willer, George Abrams, Mrs. Herbert Loeb, Hannah Marks, Micah Ross Neustadt, Henry E. Kahn, Harriet Goldsmith, Vera Miller, Louise Schwartz, Genevieve Cohen, Harry Ehrlich, Isaac Muslow, Lee Ellen Oglethorpe, Morris J. Weiss, Shirley Fryer, Isabel Goldman, Felice Flaxman Harris, Marvin Muslow, Jacob Novak, Josephine B. Cohen, Paul Gardspain, Esther A. Kaufman, and Sophie Rubin. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba, Be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, Ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam umei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudusha b'richu. Le'ela min chol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. But if you're under 13, you can get back up and come help with the hamotzi. Thank you again to Kesler, Yasher Koach, for your Devar Torah, and Shabbat Shalom.